Did you know this? Every day, millions of Americans choose between paying their medical bills or having funds for basic needs like shelter and food. In South Carolina, 22% of those living here have medical debt and collections. Joining us today to talk more about this and what he is doing to help is Scott Crawford from RIP Medical Debt. That's a grassroots campaign that has already helped wipe out the medical debt of thousands of families here in the Palmetto State, and they're launching a new campaign to help thousands more, and we are so happy to welcome Scott back to the show.
Thank you, Bailey G. I really appreciate you having me back.
No problem. When we last saw you in August, you were telling us the importance of helping families with medical debt. I know you and Greg were talking about it just now. For people who don't really grasp the understanding of what medical debt can do to a family and how it can impact their finances, break that down for us.
One aspect I'd point out is if you and I go to finance an appliance or a car, that's a choice. We're taking on debt by choice. Medical debt typically comes from nowhere, or it's an ongoing process. Yeah. So if you've been in an accident, illness, you've had a diagnosis, you go through that process, which is hard enough as it is. Then you come out of that and then you have a stack of bills. Even with insurance, you're going to have a stack of bills. And the majority of people, and South Carolina is one of the hardest hit states, can't take those on. Yeah. And so just like you said, they've got to make some choices in life. Do I get food, shelter, clothing, or do I pay these medical bills? And medical debt is the leading cause of personal bankruptcies. Wow. So it's an ongoing serious issue. And what RIP Medical Debt is really good at are two things. They identify the folks that can least afford to pay. So they're not paying Jamie Foxx. I'm glad to hear he's doing well.
Right,
but I'm pretty sure he can afford the bills. It's going for the folks that can't. And the ratio, when you donate $1 on average, they retire $100. So to give you an example, last year we raised, and I was so happy, we had a target of $50,000, we raised $57,000. That 57 turned into 12 million. So they go by it at a deep discount. Even more importantly, that translated to over 12,000 families that had their debt entirely relieved. And they don't know it's coming. They get a letter in the mail saying your debt's been relieved, and if you need help restoring your credit, the RIP's there to help as well.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been able to connect with any of the families who've been helped through the organization?
It's all anonymous. They don't know the donors, and we'll get testimonials, so I'll see them come in. But no direct connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with this, Scott?
Well, I appreciate asking that. 2 years ago, I had a cancer diagnosis. And I'm fortunate to have the insurance and I could pay the deductibles, whatnot. But the bills did come in, and they came in fast, and some of them were large. And I just mentioned it to my mom. I said, I don't know how most people can afford this. And I didn't know up till that point that was her when I was a kid. She had lost her husband to cancer, and for 5 years she was in this cycle of debt. So that inspired me to go figure out a way to help people. And in my mind, it's like, let me go find a person and help them.
Yeah.
Then when I found RIP Medical Debt, I'm just happy to be a conduit between people where this resonates and to help the people that need it the most, and we're helping thousands.
Wow, good background info. I'm glad that you broke it down that way. You guys do so much, and I love the fact that you're out here helping people you don't even know. But you get those testimonials, so something is being done right. Tell us about the 2023 campaign. You're doing it even bigger and better this year. Yeah,
so I've got another audacious goal. I'm shooting for 80 with a stretch goal of 100,000. And however that translates into how much debt they can relieve in the families that it helps, I'm hoping to double what we did last year. So if we can get close to 25,000 families, that would be great. Right now, RIP Medical Debt in South Carolina has access to 44 million, which represents almost 50,000. So even if I get to that level, it's helping half of the folks that really need it today. So hopefully this resonates with folks. First Citizens Bank for this year jumped in right at the start, made a nice contribution. So we're off to a really good momentum builder in that. And so I just hopeful that we get the word out, and I really appreciate you guys helping me do that.
No problem. Well, let's get the word out. Let's tell people how they can donate.
Yeah. RIPmedicaldebt.org. It's kind of long. Go to campaigns, search for South Carolina. You'll see my name under it, so you know you have the right one. And then, like I said, every dollar that you put in goes 100% to the debt relief. It doesn't go to overhead.
Okay, and we'll make sure to have this posted online, SodaCityLive.com, but RIPmedicaldebt.com. .org.
Yeah.
Then you go to the South Carolina tab.
You go for campaigns.
Campaigns.
Type in South Carolina. It'll pop right up.
Okay. RIPmedicaldebt.org, campaigns, South Carolina, and type in, look for your name.
Yeah, and you'll see my name.
You'll
Then
see your
know you
name
have
there.
it. Yep.
Okay, and then you can donate that way. You've heard firsthand how RIP medical debt helps those in the community. So if you want to make a difference, you can go online and do that right now.